Jocelyn, we are starting tonight with breaking news at the Columbiana Center where at least 12 people were injured after a shooting inside the mall this afternoon. Thousands of people in that area when the shooting happened around 2 o'clock this afternoon. News 19's Walker Lawson is continuing our team coverage. Walker, I know you've had an opportunity to speak to people who were in the mall when all of this unfolded.
Here is a live look at a growing memorial for Casey police officer Andrew Barr, killed in the line of duty this morning. As you can see, that is his vehicle, and community members have come by to lay flowers there. We have team coverage of the shooting in Casey from News 19's Nija Hood, Eleanor Tabone, and Walker Lawson. We begin with Nija Hood live from the Casey Department of Public Safety with more on how the community is mourning Officer Barr's loss. Nija.
We begin with today's U.S. Supreme Court ruling to send abortion decisions back to individual states. South Carolina does not have a so-called trigger law that automatically bans abortion here. Now, News 19's Zoe Henry, she is in downtown Columbia right now. She has been speaking with community members with how this could affect South Carolinians here at home. You're looking live at the intersection of Highway 1 and I-20, where police are still detouring traffic following that break, which happened shortly after 2 o'clock today. Dominion Energy says a crew causing a 6-inch break in a gas line there, which has caused all of these issues. Let's go on to Peyton Lewis. She's off Highway 1 now at I-20. What are you seeing out there right now, Peyton? Mark started today over in Lexington County. And I believe live on TV, did we just have another earthquake? I believe we just experienced another earthquake. Again, we just said we had 41 earthquakes recorded in this area, in the Lugoff-Elgin area, since December. Live on TV, just finished talking about those earthquakes. Our entire studio started shaking here. We're not sure what the magnitude of this earthquake is going to be. It lasted for several seconds.
It's been just over 24 hours since former President Jimmy Carter went into hospice care. Americans across the nation are wishing him well in the final stages of his life. Just hours ago, President Biden sent Mr. Carter well wishes on social media, saying he admires the former president for his strength and humility during tough times. Carter's hometown community in Georgia spent the morning in prayer as the former president is on hospice at his home there. Here at home, longtime Midlands residents are reflecting on Jimmy Carter's political career. Before becoming president, Mr. Carter was a governor in Georgia and visited South Carolina multiple times, including a trip to the capital city nearly 45 years ago. Our Nate Stanley reports the former president's connection to our state has a lasting legacy.
The Columbia community continuing to remember the life of Master Police Officer Tyrell Owens Riley after he passed away yesterday following a physical training exercise. Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 19. I'm KAYLAND HAGWOOD. This is a look outside Columbia Police Headquarters today as officers and community members continue to remember Master Police Officer Owens Riley. Flags also flying at half staff at this hour.
Here's a look outside Columbiana Center. This was several hours ago, and as you can see for yourself, there is hardly a car to be seen in the parking lot, and the police presence has even died down from earlier today. So here's a closer look at the layout inside of Columbiana Mall. The shooting happened near the Gap store. That's where we're told the 911 call initially came in about the shooter. And as you can see, this is the Gap store. And this is the food court where hundreds of people were trying to make their exit.
Abortion is currently legal in North Carolina, and it does not have any trigger laws regarding that procedure. North Carolina's governor now, Roy Cooper, saying that he would veto any abortion restriction bill and will fight to keep politicians out of the doctor's exam room.
Right now on News 19 at 6.
Approximately 2:48 a.m. this morning, Casey Police Department responded to a 911 call at 118 Rossmore Road, Casey.
An early morning domestic violence call ends with an officer killed in the line of duty.
One of the shots struck and killed Officer Drew Barr.
But a wonderful person who truly cared about helping others and less about getting things for himself.
We have a closer look at Officer Barr's life and the community mourning his loss.
He was a true hero.
News 19 at 6 starts now. Here is a live look at a growing memorial for Casey Police Officer Andrew Barr, killed in the line of duty this morning. As you can see, that is his vehicle, and community members have come by to lay flowers there. Just before 3 o'clock this morning, officers arrived at a home on Rossmore Drive. After 7 hours of negotiations, a person inside that home, according to police, fired shots hitting and killing Officer Barr. We begin with Nija Hood live from the KC Department of Public Safety with more on how the community is mourning Officer Barr's loss. Nija.
Well, Darcy, I'm standing here outside of the KC Department of Public Safety where if you look behind me, you'll see the flag is at half staff, and that is in Officer Barr's memory.
Barr also served as a full-time EMT with Lexington County EMS for 3 years. Right before joining the KC Police Department, there he served as a police officer, working in the K-9 unit with his partner, Molly. As News 19's Julia Kaufman reports, people who knew him best are describing him as a kind, godly man that was dedicated to service. Police have identified the suspect that they say is responsible for shooting and killing Barr this morning. KC Police Chief Chris Cowan says 36-year-old Austin Henderson took his own life after a standoff with police that lasted several hours. The State Law Enforcement Division tracks crimes against law enforcement officers. The latest data is through 2020. In the decade leading up to that year, 12 police officers were killed in South Carolina. This is a developing story, and we'll be sure to update you as more details are made available not only on air but also online at WLTX.com. You can also find updates on this story on our free News 19 mobile app. Panic and terror inside Columbiana Center. A day of shopping abruptly halted as shots are fired.
What we know is at least 3 people were seen with firearms inside the mall.
God, we thank you for his service to this nation.
Americans around the nation reflecting on former President Jimmy Carter's life as he is opting to receive hospice care at home. Tonight, how his legacy marks a strong connection to South Carolina.
An Orangeburg County child is back in South Carolina after her mother was found dead. We hear from the family of 5-year-old Aspen Jeter on the road ahead.
And later, we tell the story of a breast cancer survivor whose faith was her superpower in fighting the disease. News 19 at 11 starts right now.